What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Jake Shavink here, and Packers fans. Hope you guys are excited. I'm super excited about this mini series that are coming at you. I think this will be fun. You'll get a lot out of it. Trust me. So, obviously, Corey Linsley departing in free agency for the Los Angeles Chargers. It's pretty sad to see him go, but he should help out Justin Herbert in his young career. So that's a plus. But ultimately, that leaves a hole that needs to be filled at center for the Packers. But it's a hole that the Packers are equipped to fill. They have a lot of options, and that's a good thing. And in this mini series, we're going to dive into those options and ultimately go through and scout players to determine who's the best fit for that spot. And, it's going to be from the pro level to the college level. And there's going to be a lot of good stuff in it. So I hope you guys enjoy this. If you do, drop a like, maybe a subscribe. So let's dive into the first option here. And obviously, this is a big one for you guys. You know him very well. Elton Jenkins, option one. Clearly, probably the safest option, I should say, for the Packers at the position. Obviously, he's had 26 starts at center for Mississippi State, his 13 apiece in his junior and senior seasons. Obviously, rare versatility as a player. We know that. Obviously, started at center in college mostly. Obviously, played left guard for his first two seasons as a Packer. He did have 5 games at center in 2020 for Green Bay, actually, and 3 starts while Corey Linsley was on IR. So he has the experience also in the NFL to have done this. And now we're going to transition, obviously, here with this little excerpt, this small excerpt, but we're going to get into a full scouting report, and we're going to go through some film as well, and ultimately give you some final thoughts as to whether or not he is the solution. So yeah, let's do the scouting report here. Obviously, you see the rare versatility with Jenkins, and obviously that doesn't really play into the center position as much, but obviously you know this from Jenkins. Obviously, excellent balance in pass protection. I think that's something that's wildly overlooked. He is elite in pass protection. I think everybody knows that. Obviously, very minimal pressures allowed so far in his career in Green Bay. Obviously, great extension in his arms. He stays balanced, but he's also great at extending his arms, getting good hand placement, hands in tight, good grip, and really keeps defenders at bay and out of his frame. Because when defenders get into your frame, they're able to get you off balance, create leverage for themselves, and potentially push the pocket and create havoc. But Jenkins does a good job keeping defenders at bay that way with his length and with those, giant vines of his. Has great awareness as well in pass protection, whether it be a guard or center, really. And we'll see that in his film at center. But, he's really good at picking up stunts, obviously helping guys out who get beat. So, he's obviously great at letting guys in and funneling them toward him. He's really good at this, a lot of this awareness stuff at the center position. He does give up some ground sometimes, but ultimately he's good at chopping his feet to slow them down, and he does have a good anchor to maintain his leverage. As far as run blocking goes, he does flash the ability to reach block, which is, a very tough thing to do for offensive linemen. You have to get around someone's outside shoulder and turn them inside or potentially outside, depending on where you're running, what direction you're running. But it's a tough skill, and Jenkins has flashed that ability. He does climb to the second level very well at times as well. Quick out of his stance. Obviously, that applies to both pass protection and run blocking. Does he have that elite quickness, though? I don't think he has the elite quickness that, say, Corey Linsley had. But ultimately, I think it's good enough to be a very, very good center. And obviously, we know this because we've seen him in college do it. So maybe time to hop over to the little film and check it out. All right, guys, here we are at the film portion of this video on Elton Jenkins, and took some from college as well. Obviously, you'll see 5 of the pro games where he played center, his 2 games where he filled in, and then his 3 starts. But wanted to show you a start from his college days. We actually got some film from that. Against an Alabama defensive front that featured Isaiah Buggs, featured Quinnen Williams, we all know how good he was in college, and Raekwon Davis. So a really good Alabama defensive line. This was a good Alabama team. And here we have Jenkins, obviously, here at center. So you're going to get a couple reps in. You'll kind of go through them. We'll kind of pick out ones that we like, and we'll talk about them. So obviously here, he's got Quinnen Williams playing nose on him. And again, just a good job staying balanced and really keeping him at bay. And we got to remember, Obviously, Quinnen Williams was a great pass rusher at college. He was just utterly dominant. Let's go back to the second one here. You see how aware he is in pass protection. He's obviously using that peripheral vision here, seeing, do I need to pick up somebody here coming inside of this gap, or am I picking up somebody here? Obviously, Quinnen gets funneled into him, and he's there, obviously. Good balance. Look at the knee bend. Obviously, his hands aren't out completely, but he's absorbing it and keeping good balance, keeping good leverage. Obviously, eyes are still looking here just in case he needs to pop off that block. That's the awareness that we're talking about. Just really good stuff there. Yeah, I mean, again, overall with Jenkins, it really isn't as much a power thing. Obviously, great vice grip there on Quinnen Williams. Once again, does a good job getting outside position there. This is an outside run, it looks like, for Fitzgerald, and he's able to reach over, get that positioning there on Williams. So yeah, ultimately, I think you see the play strength. You see his vice grip. You see that power that he brings, the leverage he keeps, the balance. You see all of those aspects in his game. I think the quickness, like we said, is the one thing that's really lacking, and it was kind of, I mean, not that he wasn't quick out of his stance ultimately, but that quickness to work at the second level, that quickness to work laterally, in an outside zone, a lot of times you're working, like right here, you're working out 90 and up 90 degrees, 90 degrees. So you have to be quick. You have to get out of your stance. You got to be on your toes right away. And he does a good job here in this rep of initial contact. Obviously, this is well held by Darrell Williams, but again, little shove there gets him out of position to help. And he climbs on Mac Wilson here at linebacker, does a good job position there. Ultimately, Raekwon Davis makes a great play, but Jenkins did his job. And then in pass protection again, good job holding this point here against Quinnen Williams. Again, great grip, good hand placement, staying balanced. And obviously Quinnen, great player, will get a hand on here, but Jenkins did enough on him to get him off balance when he's reaching there, get him reaching, and make the play. So again, Jenkins did a lot of great things in college when it comes to being center. How's he done lately, right? You want to see people develop, obviously, if you want him to be your starting center. So here we are. We're going to look at some of the pro film from earlier this past year in 2020. So ultimately here, this first one's really good here, what I like to see from Elton Jenkins. Obviously, quick out of his stance here. Obviously, a double team block here. Good combo block. But ultimately, DeForest Buckner, great player, obviously. Elite player. Gets past Lucas Patrick here. Great hand usage. Gets a little swim arm over move here. Jenkins sees this. This is unbelievable. And you can tell how giddy I am. I love Elton Jenkins. And I know Packers fans do too. But, he's off this. He gets his hand out there. Gets enough of Buckner and keeps him at bay. Are you kidding me? That's so good. It's so good. And here we have another one. Again, this is basically going to be him on Buckner. John Runyon, lovely guy. I think he's going to develop into a starting guard for the Packers. This is one-on-one. Again, this is good by Runyon here. He's got his hand on him, but this is really one-on-one. Buckner, Jenkins tries to swat his hands out there. Jenkins having none of it. Maybe a good little strength, obviously flashing the strength there from Buckner. But ultimately, Jenkins, look at this. Balanced, technically sound. He says, you're not collapsing this pocket one bit. The reps he had against the Colts really make me smile. And Colts fans, I know the Colts are going to be a big part of this channel. But, man, you can't help but smile watching Elton Jenkins play this sport, man. It is incredible. All right, let's see here. Oh, yeah, okay, so it gets out of his stance. Obviously, this is good by Runyon and Patrick here. He's got to get out here and get to the linebacker, and look at that, does so. Just in time, I might add. Really good stuff there from Jenkins. We got Chicago game where he came in and filled in after, I believe, 21 or so snaps from Corey Linsley in this one. So, yeah, Linsley was battling injury. This is good here, combo block. And he gets off and works to another defender there. Again, constantly looking for work, looking to help out where he can. This was a good one here. Oh, this is a good one here, and you'll see kind of Roquan Smith helps him out a little bit here. Obviously, Roquan Smith's working this way. But, again, Jenkins gets out there And good job. Turns him outside, and the lane is there for Jamal Williams. And here we got the Philly game, actually. His first full start at center. And ultimately, this is good. He's got the grip, using that play strength, hand placement. Watch him just turn this defender. He's going to turn him into the turf on the ground. Puts him on the ground. Again, the toughness, the competitive drive that he has. Okay. Fletcher Cox is an elite pass rushing defensive tackle. Okay. He absolutely takes Billy Turner for a ride here. Gets him off of him, completely spun around, discombobulated. Jenkins immediately there and stops him in his tracks. Gets his hands underneath and does a good job staying balanced, dropping anchor there. And nothing, no pressure. You would have think Fletcher Cox there would have won that rep and gotten pressure on Rodgers. No, not on Jenkins' watch. Again, good job getting the second level there. Obviously, Jones took this outside, but still a good job, and that's what you like to see. You like to see improved quickness from Jenkins. Okay, Lions game. Watch here. I believe this is Danny Shelton. This is what I'm talking about. You're getting to the outside shoulder here, turning him back inside so Jamal Williams has a lane. That is really good stuff from Elton Jenkins. And here, really quick out of his stance. Look how quick, engaged. Perfect stuff here. Drives him out of the way. Gives Aaron Jones a crease. And Aaron Jones will take advantage of the crease there. And finally, to the Carolina game. Again, good job getting the second level. Obviously, this guy still makes the tackle. But it's nice to see Jenkins, how familiar he is with that and how comfortable he looks really playing this position right now. Again, really good job getting the defender out of the way, creating a lane. This is a good job here. Again, he got a little bump there. Get to the second level, engage well. Obviously, Jones kicks this outside, but again, this is good stuff from Jenkins. And ultimately, also this is the last rep here, but this is one of my favorite things. Like, Jenkins here is working. He's got his eyes on the linebacker. He's trying to work up this way, but Jones is going to cut this back. Linebacker bites in here. Jones is able to get fully spun around and make sure that this defender cannot work back to the ball. Finish him. Good job. Just the flexibility, just how in control he plays is just darn impressive. All right, so finally, is Jenkins the answer? Well, I think Packers fans, listen, I think the Green Bay Packers obviously want more athleticism, quickness out of their centers. And they obviously had that with Linsley for 7 years. So are they going to want someone who mirrors Linsley? That's very possible. And we're going to explore those options down the way in this mini-series. But Jenkins is an elite guard. That's the other thing. He's really elite at that position. He's obviously insanely talented in pass protection, insanely good at it. So ultimately, do you leave him there and try to replace the center position? I don't know. Again, I'm not in the heads of the decision makers in Green Bay, ultimately. But when you keep him at that elite spot, at guard, left guard, freed up to slide to other spots rather than be pigeonholed into center. So if you pigeonhole him into center, again, you're having him start there. Now, obviously, if Green Bay believes that they have a bunch of interchangeable pieces, it could take shape where Jenkins could move elsewhere if he's still starting center. But ultimately, you want him starting at center. You want him having those reps with Rodgers all the time. So Jenkins, who can play right tackle, left guard, potentially left tackle, he has that versatility, that rare versatility that's really unheard of most of the time. Ultimately, though, I think the odds are in his favor to be the center in 2021. I'm going to put it at 40% here. I think that's the favorite. I think just the experience and how good he looked really in 2020 playing the position, and you saw it. I think Jenkins right now should be the favorite to earn that starting role. And ultimately, I think the Packers feel comfortable what they have at guard. Maybe John Runyan, Lucas Patrick are potentially the guards next season. So Jenkins right now is the favorite for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was really fun to put together. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. Elton Jenkins film, let's be honest, is just really fun in general. But Packers fans, if you enjoyed this, or NFL fan, if you enjoyed this, encourage you to hit the like and subscribe button. Lots of great videos coming out for the Packers, the Colts, obviously NFL draft stuff as well. Potentially a live stream in the works for the NFL draft days 1 and 2. So be on the lookout for that as well. And yeah, let's keep this video as short as possible and leave it to the content to speak for itself. And I will see you guys next time in this mini series and probably sooner than that. Farewell.